Fishing the Wild West TV with Wes David is brought to you by Tracker Boats, Fish the Finest, Adventure Destinations. Book your trip of a lifetime with Adventure Destinations and Thompson's Resort. Big Chief Meat Snacks, big taste, big adventure. Along with Cam Clark Ford, the official vehicle of Fishing the Wild West TV.
Living a dream, fishing the streams, fishing the wild.
She's getting a little western on the deck. In this week's episode, we're in northern Saskatchewan with Adventure Destination International on Daly Lake, one of their self-guided fly-in fishing trips. We're going to be targeting my favorite trout species, lake trout. We're going to be targeting them deep. We're going to be jigging up a bunch of spinnos, BuzzBombs, and zingers for some monster lake trout on Daly Lake. Stay tuned. This week's episode, Fishing the Wild West TV. First one on, we come out here lake trout fishing. And we come down a channel here, big channel. We're in 77 feet of water and we're jigging spinnos from BuzzBomb. And we just got started. We went upwind, the wind's pushing us this way, and just letting the wind push us down, drifting, jigging lake trout. Big heavy spinnos too, getting right down to the bottom, jigging it, rip jigging it. If you don't get anything right on the bottom, you come up 10, 20 feet and start jigging again. Here he is, he's all wrapped up. I'm gonna get out my Eagle net. I wasn't quite ready. I thought it would take a little more time. Yeah, he's really wrapped up. Oh, and he's one of those orange fin. They're my favorite, absolute favorite. Settle down. Now he's wrapping himself in my net. There's the first one. It's a little guy, but there's some real good ones in here, and that's what we're going for. We're here at Daly Lake, fishing lake trout, and we might go for some northern pike later. Oh, he hit it. Come get it there. He did too. He bumped it 4 or 5 times. So I swam it away from him, made him chase it. When you swim it away from them, they can't think about it. They either got to hit it or their food is leaving. Another perfect one for the smoker. And we're here for a couple days, so we'll be coming back and out and getting a couple for the smoker for this winter using Wild West seasonings. Smoked lake trout, in my opinion, and Chuck is a master at it, is better than smoked lake trout or smoked salmon. Smoked lake trout is absolutely delicious. You can candy it. Everything you do with salmon, you can do with the lake trout. They're an oily fish and delicious on the smoker. This fella here, I got the hook out of him, and this fella here would be ideal for the smoker. And we're going to show you that on one of the cooking segments of the Wild Cookhouse, brought to you by Wild West Seasonings. And he goes, rinse my hands off, drop down, catch another one. I was just thinking about, I thought maybe we were off the spot. I was just thinking about moving, and this guy chased her right to the surface. And he hit it probably only 20 feet below the surface, so he's got lots of energy left in him yet. Burping up his bubbles. And in the net. Like I say, I was just thinking, I jigged about 5 times and I didn't get anything, so you know, maybe we're off the spot, drifted off the spot, and then all of a sudden, bang. He took it. Little guy. Get him back, look for some bigger ones.
This segment has been brought to you by Rock Guard, protect your investment, and Power Pole, total boat control. Closed captioning is brought to you by BuzzBomb Tackle, iconic sonic fishing lures, made in North America for over 50 years.
I got my gill gear on now because we just had a heck of a squall come through. And we had to wait it out in the bush. And I come out and started jigging again, and I think I got a really good one on here. Yeah, this is, I got to get some line back. This is a real good one. And this is right after it rained. We pulled out of the bush, come back here and started jigging. And this is the first sequence. We caught a couple of those smaller ones, but there's a lot of big ones mixed in here. And again, all we're doing is dropping it all the way down. We're in 78 feet of water when he took it, or we're fishing 78 feet. He was probably in 50 feet of water because I swam it to the surface when he hit it. And we're just going down this channel, letting the wind push us, jigging, snap jigging, ripping it off the bottom. If they don't take it within half a dozen snaps, I reel up about 10, 15 feet, do another sequence, and then race it to the surface. And that's when this guy hit it. And I got him in the net. He's a good lake trout. He's gonna even be picture worthy. See? Okay, I got this, got it out of him. One hook. So while he's just in the water resting, that's the spinel. So it spins on your line here. I've got a leader on because I just come from northern pike fishing. But it spins, and as you jig it, it spins, and they love it. And my favorite colors are any of the whites, the pearls, pinks. They got the blues, but I like the white when I'm fishing lake trout. Get him up here. Hang on. That's a great lake trout. I don't know what he weighs, I don't know his measurement, but he's a lot of fun to catch on the spinnels. Move my net over, and I'm gonna get him in the water. And there he goes, right to the bottom. And we've drifted now 62 feet of water, but just say 100 yards behind us, we're back in that 80, 90 feet of water. And they're just stacked up in here, and they're liking that deep, cold water. If they don't take it right away, lift it up 20, 30 feet, 10 to 30 feet, jig it again. If they don't take it there, swim it to the surface as fast as you can, and all of a sudden your rod just bows over. It's awesome. It didn't even hit bottom. I just landed that big one, and we drifted into 62 feet of water, and I thought, well, let's just try it and see what happens. And as my line was falling, my lure was falling, the line went slack. And this little fella took it. Man, they're aggressive. Oh, we're gonna start over here. Some of the strong, oh, he wrapped up in his tail. I'll get him before he knows he's caught. They're so strong, such a strong species. There, that's the first, I just landed that big one, and this one hammered it on the way down. It's cool. Man, I love fishing lake trout. They are one of the funnest, strongest fighting fish there is, and they school up. When you find their school, there's no end to them. That lure just stopped. I don't even know if he knows he's hooked yet. Get him in there, release him before he knows. And then I think we're gonna have to call her a day because we got another rain coming through. Get him up here. Show ya. And we're gonna head for home. We're gonna outrun this storm. Put on the gill jacket, pull the pin.
This segment has been brought to you by Hooked Magazine, hooked on fishing in the great outdoors, and Lucky Bug Lures. Get hooked on Lucky Bug Lures. This segment is brought to you by the City of Airdrie, big city amenities with that small town feel, and gill fishing, anywhere, all conditions.
Man, I was swimming it up and it just stopped solid. Holy cow. It's a good thing you gotta be hanging onto your rod at all times. It just whack. And I was just thinking I was gonna bring up my spinno that I have on there and just touch up the hooks because, I mean, lake trout have really hard mouths. And I don't even know how many I've caught yesterday and this morning. It's still only 11 o'clock. And we've just been picking up the lake trout. It's just a ton of fun. I got the wind working in my favor. The wind is pushing us this way, so the boat's not going to run over my line. Yeah. That is cool. This is a great fish. Oh, the hook come out. Good. Good thing I got him in the net. So, spinno, that's a 5 or a 2.5 ounce spinno. Jigging it off the bottom and ripping it through the water column. And this is the result. Oh, that's a great fish. Self-guided, you're out here doing this on your own. That is a big, healthy fish. Holy cow, the size of the heads on them. Beautiful, beautiful fish. We're gonna take a quick picture and do a live release, get him back in the water, and we'll show it all to you. We took a quick picture. We're gonna get him back in the water because that is a beautiful fish. Look how big their mouths are. They eat a lot. They eat their own. They can be very cannibalistic. They eat a lot of white fish, which this lake's got a lot of white fish in it. There, he knows he can go. I let go of his tail, but look at how beautiful he is in the water. Man, that's a nice fish. There he goes, right down to the bottom. We picked him up. We've drifted out, but I think about 82 feet of water. He fought, incredible fight. I got a lot of respect for him and release those fish, keep our lakes healthy. Even though we're in the north, those big fish are really important to the water body.
Wild Cookhouse is brought to you by Wild West Seasonings, home of award-winning seasonings, marinades, brines, and batters.
So today we've been lake trout fishing, so it only makes sense that we're gonna make lake trout for supper. We're gonna use Wild West Seasonings Buddy Beer Batter. So it's a wet mix, comes in these perfect little packets. We're gonna use Big Sky Jigs beer, their new beer. Tastes great, but we're gonna see how it tastes on fish. And depending on how thick you want it, is how much beer you add. So once we get this all mixed up, you wanna mix all the chunks out of it. You're gonna add beer or add more of the mix, the Wild West seasoning, to however thickness you want it. Then I kind of let it sit and I let it rest for, 10, 15 minutes. Once my oil is good and hot outside, we're gonna take our lake trout fillets. I filleted them earlier today, deboned them. I quartered them or cut them up into little pieces. We're gonna batter them and then put them right into the hot oil. We're gonna add a little bit of hot sauce. This here is all gonna go in. Stir it up, there's lots of batter in there. 2 hours ago, this was swimming around. We filleted it, deboned it, took the skin off, cut it into portions, serving size portions, put it in the Wild West seasoning wet batter, and we're about ready for the oil. Freshly caught lake trout, done on the Wild West seasoning beer batter. Now it's time to add them to the cowboy beans and some coleslaw.
Fishing the Wild West TV will be right back. This segment is brought to you by Big Sky Flies and Jigs, tackle you can trust, and Tourism Saskatchewan. Start planning your visit today.
We just moved back up into 80 feet of water. And again, sending them lures down right off the bottom. And I found usually the bigger ones, if it hits right on the bottom in this deep water, it's usually a bigger fish. If they chase it up, I've had the big ones chase it up, but normally the smaller ones, and that's where those smaller ones are beating the bigger fish to the lure. But this one hit it like right on the bottom. I haven't seen him yet. Just feels heavy. He hasn't pulled a lot of drag, but they can get, 20, 30 feet and then the fight begins, but he feels heavy. And he's just trying to stay vertical, and that's like big walleye, big pike, whatever, they're just trying to get back to the bottom. That's what he's trying to do. There he goes. Now he knows he's hooked. Get him over here. Again, really important. I know I've said it before, but it's so important. We're using that wind. You don't want to be on this side where the wind is pushing the boat over top of your line. I've had that happen. I've broke my line, I've cut my line, boat ran over my line. You don't get to fight the fish correctly. Yeah, he's under the boat now. Yeah, this is a great fish. Just, he's still got a lot of energy. Now, he's mad about it. Oh, he's rolling. He's gonna unroll. There we go. Off camera, we have caught about 70 or 80 fish, 4 pounds, 2 pounds to 6 or 8 pounds. And they don't make the camera, but they're a ton of fun. You just got to get through them to get to these bigger fish. There's some great fish like this guy, and a lot bigger, but all of them are a ton of fun. Getting back in. And what I've noticed here at Daly Lake is lots of the lake trout with the bright orange fins. You get a mixture of them, but this is the most I've ever caught in one area. So if you're looking, catch lake trout with those orange fins, this is where I'd be booking.
This Gear Talk is brought to you by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Your adventure starts here.
Let's talk about what we used here at Daly Lake for jigging lake trout. Now, not only here at Daly Lake, but the Spinnos, BuzzBomb, and Zingers have become my go-to jigging any species, but especially lake trout. Today we used a variety of different sizes. The smaller ones really didn't fit today for the fish that we were fishing, but these are great for walleye. We went with the 2 sizes here was the key for our success jigging the lake trout here. But BuzzBomb also makes the actual BuzzBomb and the Zinger. These also work in the exact same way, except for your line feeds through it. Very user-friendly and very effective. Now, all the lures that I use throughout the season, they always get a little touch of liquid mayhem. It's just my confidence. It's a scent, it attracts, it adds to another attractant to the fish. All my lures, hard plastic, soft plastic, everything gets a little liquid mayhem. Then, went with the Sunline PE8 50-pound braided fishing line. You want to bring up a lot of line when you come to places like this. If you ever snag on the bottom in 100 feet of water and you break off, or you just always want to have spare. You don't want to be out there lineless, or you're going to miss out on some of the best fishing you'll ever experience. That concludes this week's lake trout adventure at Daly Lake, one of Adventure Destination International's self-guided fly-out fishing trips. If you liked what you've seen, follow us on social media or through the pages of Hooked magazine. My Uber's here. I gotta go to my next adventure. I'm your host, Wes David, Fishing the Wild West TV.